I forgot to take the camera with me vlogging this morning. It's been a super busy. What are you laughing at, Elizabeth?
Oh, it's awesome.
It's been a busy morning already. So this is what you missed. On the way going, I was behind a truck that was pulling a trailer that had some like carnival rides with it. I guess they were moving to another town, and I look up, and the guy is on top of the ride. It looked like those Viking ships that rock back and forth, and he's straddling the ride, and he has a broomstick in his hand. I was like, what is he doing? And this is why the trailer's going down the road. And then I realized, oh, he's using the broomstick to hold the cable wires up so that they don't touch the metal ride. And I know that in America, when they transport like mobile homes and stuff, you see guys, but those guys are harnessed in. They're reaching up, touching cables and moving them out of the way, or street lights. You know, all those cables are insulated. Here, they're not insulated. If you touch one of those wires, you're dead, or severely injured. And so it was funny to watch that guy. Then coming back, traffic was backed up, and I was like, man, is this another wreck, another funeral? What is it?
And this is the busy road.
Yeah, this is the main busy road that I've been showing y'all in a lot of the videos. And so I was like, man, what is going on? And I see a cone, and I see some guys knelt down on the street. It looked like they were cleaning, like maybe an oil spill or something. As I get closer, I realize these are just individuals that put a cone out in the middle of the highway, and they're painting a big heart on the ground. I don't know if it was like a memorial to a family member that had passed away or what. And then the cops come by, and they just keep going. And they continue to paint and hold up traffic. So I hate that y'all missed it. But anyway, I wanted to tell y'all that so that y'all could laugh with me.
So we've got another early morning in. Time to wake the kiddos up. Hey, good morning. Time to wake up, Boo Bear. Nobody ever sleeps correctly in their bed, if you notice. Oh, hey. You're so sweet. Time to go to Guayaquil. So we're in Guayaquil. You saw us leaving super early in the morning again. We just got done. It's 9:40 from an appointment for Adrian at a public healthcare building. And Nathan's going to tell you some of the things we saw.
We saw people in wheelchairs. We saw a person with crutches. We saw a person with like his leg cut off.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a person with a patch over his eye.
Blind lady. Jared said he was going to drink hand sanitizer, is what he said. But anyway, it was sad to see people and see how poor. I mean, we see poverty a lot, but just to see people who are so poor and like in such bad physical shape. So anyway, it was sad. So the mangoes are turning. And they fall, especially after a rain. So we're trying to get the ones that are ripe and not damaged so we can give to people. Which is a Chinese restaurant. Baba has tons of Chinese restaurants, but there's one that we always go to. The people are really nice, and it's clean, and the food's good. And it's exciting today because they've actually moved locations. They built their own building, and so it's beautiful in here. And we're just so happy for them and happy for us. It's actually 2 stories, which is incredible. Well, two stories to eat at it. We're on the 2nd floor. We'll show you our food when we get it. We usually take our mission teams here, at least one of the nights that they're here. And so these are the kind of meals that they order?
In one of our earlier vlogs, I mentioned we got back one night from I think it was the Wizard of Oz thing that we went to in Guayaquil, and there was a motorcycle wreck. So I ran over, and by the time I got there, the guy was over on the side of the road, and his motorcycle was laying in the middle of the road. And it's a super busy highway, so I went over there to help the guy pick the motorcycle up and push it. So we started pushing it, and I thought we were just going to push it and get it off the side.
Not the guy in the wreck.
No.
You just said the guy.
Another guy from the
come up.
community, right across from where we live. There's a community where we've done some different ministry and things there. And so anyway, we started pushing the motorcycle, and we kept pushing and pushing. I was like, well, this is odd. I wonder why we're not putting it, right off the side of the road. We kept pushing it, and we pushed it down the little road over beside the little community area. And I was like, well, this is a new cultural experience for me. I'll just kind of learn, and not really sure why we're pushing the motorcycle so far. And so we push it, and the headlight was still on, and they were like, oh, we can't get the thing to turn off. And somebody was like, just cover it up with a bucket or something. And so they put something over the light so you couldn't see it. And then we left it there, and I came back to where the crowd was, and what had happened is he was drunk, and one of the buses had hit him. Well, rather than the bus stopping, the bus went about half a mile up the road so that he would be away from the community, because if it was someone from that community, they would have been mad trying to beat the bus driver up and all this stuff. So he did the right thing by going on down. And what was crazy is he started sending people that were on the bus to run all the way down there to make sure that the guy wasn't dead. And once they found out that he wasn't dead, they went running back to tell the bus driver, because had he been dead, the bus driver would have took off. He would have moved to another city, started a whole new life. I mean, it's very common when someone dies.
This is why
like
Elizabeth doesn't drive.
Yeah.
One of the reasons.
So anyway, like I said, I was there trying to figure out the culture and what's happening, because, I've been in some situations where I need to know what to do. So finally, the police show up and the ambulance show up, and you could tell the guy was super drunk. And remember, it's one whole community. They know who I am, and so we're standing there. And as soon as the police say, what happened? One guy in the community stands up, and in a very loud voice, he says, this guy was walking, and he got hit. And the police were like, are you sure? Was he not on a motorcycle? And they were like, oh, no. He wasn't on a motorcycle. Had he been on a motorcycle, he'd be dead. And they were like, where's the motorcycle at? And they were like, he wasn't on a motorcycle. He was walking. And so all this is unfolding in my head, and I'm like, whoa, what is happening? And it's one of those deals where you're in the middle of it. You don't know what to do. And I knew what they were doing. They were lying so that they could steal the motorcycle. And so what do? You tell them, and then run the risk of, there's just so many things. You lose the trust of the people that you've been working for or working to minister to, or do you get beat up in the situation? I mean, the whole community's in on this thing. And so anyway, the people started leaving really fast as soon as the police got there. And so I left, and
Talk about how they justify.
talk about what?
How they justify. You said they justified
yeah.
taking the motorcycle.
So like I said, I didn't want to share it with y'all right off the bat, because I really needed to process that, and what was my responsibility as a Christian, what was the right thing to do in that situation. And so now I have that. I don't want to say it's ammunition, but at least I can, when we're ministering, I mean, these are the guys that we're going to be doing our church plant with. They're going to say, well, we're not sinners, we're really not bad people. And then I can say, look, y'all as a whole community stole a motorcycle from a guy that was drunk, didn't have any idea what was going on. But what we found in this culture is that they justify things. I've had things that were taken from me from a guy that was doing some construction on the library, and he was like, oh, well, you didn't want that. Yeah, that's why I took it, because you didn't want it. I was like, how do you know I didn't want it? He was like, because it was old. It was just sitting there. And so they justify things like that. And I know what they did with the motorcycles. They justified it on the way to Baboyo. There's probably what 2,000 motorcycles
They've been confiscated
where
or in a
police
wreck.
have either confiscated them. Anytime there's a motorcycle wreck, the police load the motorcycle up and take it off. And so in their minds is the police are going to take it or we're going to take it. You know, the guy that's drunk, he's not getting that motorcycle back. So why can't we as a poor community get this motorcycle and make a couple of $100 off of it? And that's how they justify things in their mind. And so it was a new experience for me. Next time, I'll know not to assist in a robbery like that. But man,
It was heartbreaking though.
it was heartbreaking because those are the
Nobody
people.
cared about the man.
Nobody cared about the man. Only cared about the motorcycle. So I don't know, something that I don't know.
But the weeks just fly by. It's been a different kind of week for sure. With our car being in the shop, and then Jared had to go to Guayaquil literally 5 days out of this week for paperwork and different things. But we're on our way to the teachers meeting. Last Friday we had a teachers meeting, but only 2 people showed up, me being one of them. So we're having to repeat the teachers meeting. Why did you do this for Natalie, Nathan?
Because it's her 2nd year. This is the day she accepted Christ 2 years ago.
To your spiritual birthday, Natalie?
Yeah.
It's Star Wars.
We want to share with you a little bit about our heart here, and as missionaries, the gospel is on our mind day and night. Who we're sharing with, who we see God working in. You know, just really constantly talking about the gospel. And what we found here is there's a lot of phrases, a lot of terminology, a lot like America, where people say things as in, yeah, I've given my life to Christ, or yes, I believe in God, yes, I believe everyone's a sinner. But those are just phrases. There's no weight behind it. A good example of that is a lady was talking the other night at our small group. She was saying, oh, I've been helping this lady who's a Christian. She's a Christian now. And I said, really? I said, how do you know she's a Christian? She said, well, she gave her life to Christ, and she said a couple of more things. I said, really? Okay. I said, that's great. I said, but what did God do? What was his role in her being saved? And she couldn't answer it. And so, you know, where's God? He's the reason that you're able to have salvation, and he plays the role, not just a role in salvation. He is salvation. And she couldn't answer the question. And then another incident was something that Elizabeth was a part of.
Mm-hmm. I went to a training here in Ecuador, and everything was going along smoothly with the training, and then they got to the part where they talked about children praying a prayer or children accepting Christ, and that they said that it was not uncommon and it was just fine for a child to, in the course of their childhood, pray to accept Christ 2 or 3 times. And I was just blown away. I looked around the room and nobody seemed bothered by that statement except for me. So that was about a year ago. That ignited a fire in our soul to dig deeper, look for more resources, and really help people understand that God is the one who draws us to himself. Our job or our role is to respond, and that it's a one-time event. You can be sure of that. And so we've seen that in our own children's lives with Nathan and Natalie. And as we've been working in the children's department, we feel even more confident that there is a right way and a wrong way to share the gospel. Yeah,
and so we want to be an encouragement to y'all. As parents, you have a responsibility to share the gospel with your children. It's the church plays a supporting role. You play the primary role in sharing the gospel with them, and we want to encourage y'all to do that. Some great resources that we've used is Children Desiring God has a booklet on how to
How to help parents share the gospel,
share the
with,
gospel
their
with their children.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just for your own benefit, to understand how the sovereignty of God and evangelism and man's responsibility work or coincide together, how they work alongside each other. J.I. Packard's book, Evangelism and the Sovereignty of God, is an excellent resource. And there's a number of others, but those two I would definitely say start there, and then hopefully as we continue to vlog more, we'll give more updates and try to encourage y'all. So that's our share time this week. Hope you enjoyed the vlog, and we'll have another one ready next week.